Welcome to Biz Wire. I'm Joseph Nordstrom in Beijing. On Monday, Sri Lanka opened the first phase of a $500 million container terminal, part of a Chinese-funded expansion of the country's main port in the capital of Colombo. Capacity is expected to double by 2020 and make shipping a key driver of economic growth. Chinese funds account for about 85% of the total $2.5 billion being spent on the port expansion project. China Merchants Holdings built and for at least 35 years will operate the terminal, which will handle 2.4 million containers a year and boost Colombo's capacity by almost half. Since the end of a nearly three-decade civil war in May 2009, Sri Lanka has been spending heavily on infrastructure to attract foreign investment to its $59 billion economy. The new terminal is just one of three planned for Colombo Port, which will mainly handle transshipments to and from the Indian subcontinent. Sri Lanka has an enviable location on an ancient and lucrative trade route in the Indian Ocean, which also makes it of strategic commercial and military interest. The Colombo port is on the world's busiest international shipping lane, which gives Beijing another key piece in its so-called string of pearls strategy to secure maritime supply routes. China understands the importance of securing the seas and the long-term benefits this will have on its economy. Besides in Sri Lanka, China controls ports in Myanmar, Bangladesh, another two in Pakistan, as well as others. Named the Colombo International Container Terminal, is 85% owned by state-run China Merchants and is designed to handle megaships. This is a first for Sri Lanka, which is aiming to become the region's shipping hub. China has sought more influence in the region and has committed at least $3.7 billion since 2005 to help expand ports to power generation. AFP reported that Chinese loans and expertise were also instrumental in the construction of the $450 million deep-sea port in southern Sri Lanka, which opened in June of last year. Sri Lanka's Ports Authority is also building another container terminal with an annual capacity to handle 2.4 million boxes at the Colombo port, which will be ready for operations early next year. The Export-Import Bank of China has funded investment projects including Sri Lanka's first four-lane expressway and second international airport. Media also reported on Monday that Sri Lanka is seeking nearly $150 million in additional funding from China Exim Bank to complete work on its second international airport that was initially valued at $209 million, which has grown to over $350 million now. In yet another deal, Sri Lanka recently finalized a $1.4 billion deal with China Communications Construction Company to build a city on a 230-hectare site that will be reclaimed from the sea. Some describe China's spending on overseas projects as reckless, but the head of the International Center for Maritime Studies said Chinese expertise coupled with Colombo's strategic location would make Sri Lanka a key stopover for international carriers. The stop will be important for those who want to avoid the threat posed by Somali pirates operating off the Gulf of Aden by skipping Dubai and heading straight for the Cape of Good Hope. You're watching Biz Wire on the Blue Ocean Network. We'll be right back with more insight into the big picture of China's economy.